Good morning, Facebook. Just finishing up my bike cardio. I had a killer leg day at Keep and Fit Studios with Mary. Here, working out on my bike. I freaking love this thing. It's amazing. I'm doing a Tour de France thing right now, and it's awesome. Yeah, legs. Legs are a killer, but I'm telling you, she always pushes me to do my best, Mary does, and I love her to bits. She stands over me and she makes sure I've got proper form and I'm doing everything right, and I love that. I bumped into a couple girls that I know in Hamilton yesterday when I was at Costco, and the only reason they said they recognized me was because I was wearing my ULA hat. I haven't seen them in like 2 years. And because I've had such a dramatic change in my body that I'm finding a lot of people just aren't even recognizing me, unless they, have seen me on Facebook. If they just haven't seen me on Facebook and I'm just running into people, I'm having to reintroduce myself because they honestly don't recognize me, which is pretty cool. So, great leg day today. Oh, I'm all done. Great leg day today. Really pushed it hard. I'm getting ready now, getting my body prepared for competition, which isn't happening until the spring, but it takes a long time to get your body ready for something like that and to build the muscle properly and in moderation so that you're not hurting yourself and getting injured. So did that, and then I came home and did cardio because when I was away in Utah, I gained about 5 pounds. They had really good food there, and and I took it easy and I did a little indulging, and that's okay. And then I get home and I'm right back on track. So probably not going to be able to walk tomorrow. Day 2 is always the worst. And but today was picture day with my kids and got them all ready, and they just looked gorgeous. I love them so much, and when I see them all dressed up and they take care of their bodies and they take care of their hair and they want to look good, and it just makes me so proud that they do that, and they're just gorgeous kids. And I know they're my kids, but I'm a little biased, but I was really so proud of them this morning, and they've grown up so much. And I know people always say, enjoy your kids while they're little. They grow up so fast, and they do. But to be honest, the age that they're at now, my kids are 6, 7, 10, and 11. They are at such a great age, and they're such good kids. In the mornings, I would not be able to get through my mornings without Quinn and his help, and just, helping guide the younger kids into what to do. And on top of getting ready for school, they also do their contributions. So we don't call them chores in our house, we call them contributions, because I've always said that if you want to live here, you have to contribute. And I can't do everything. There's too many people here. So they empty the dishwasher, they help, they make their lunches. Even my 6-year-old, he makes his lunch every single night. Sometimes he needs a little bit of help, but they get home from school, and the routine is they wash their hands with our Thieves soap because we love that stuff, and then they put their shoes away nice and neat. They empty their bag, they put any dirty clothes in the laundry, they stack their bags nice and neat. They come in, they open up their lunches, they show me what they did and didn't eat, and if they have anything left over, they have to eat that in their lunch before they can have another snack. They do any homework that they might have, which they don't really have a lot now, but once in a while they get something that they need to work on. We always talk about the day and what happened and what they learned, and if they had any problems with something, if they come home with a test and they didn't get perfect on the test, then we go over the questions that they got wrong so that they understand it. Because I know for me growing up, I really struggled with math and a couple of other subjects, and I just kind of always ignored it, and then it got progressively worse as I got older, and then by the time I got to high school, I struggled even more, especially in math. So I want to make sure that my kids don't go through that, and we talk openly and honestly about everything, and we work on things, and they're starting to get it. And Wednesdays are a bit of a hectic day in our house because we have piano lessons right after school, so it's kind of more of a rush. They don't get a chance to make their lunch right away, but typically they would make it right after they're done all of that other stuff. The TV does not get turned on until every single child is done their contributions. And that works really well in our house. And I know sometimes they get really frustrated because, Quinn, he's done right away. Within the first half an hour being home, he's completely done. But what's happened is now he'll go and he'll find something more creative to do, or more times than none, he's actually helping the little boys get ready for school, and being very, very helpful. And so because of that, I now pay him a little bit. So when I see he's doing a little bit more around the house and helping out with the kids, which he does pretty much every day, I pay him anywhere from $10 to $20 a week, depending on what he's done. So if he's cut the grass, he makes some more money. If he's cleaned the house, he's made some more money. So anything above and beyond our regular contributions, they do get paid for it. And it's usually between $5 and $10, sometimes more, again, depending on what they do. But what I do is I've always taken half, and I told them, because as soon as you become an adult, the government is going to take your money and to pay taxes and CPP and all those kinds of things. So I want them to get used to that now. And actually what they've decided to do through conversations that we've had, what they've actually decided to do is they let me keep all the money. So half of it is still theirs. The first half that I take, I actually put in their RESP. So I'm getting them ready for college or university, wherever they choose to go. And then the half that would normally be theirs, that they can, we decide together what they do with it. They have actually decided that they want to put it aside so that when they turn 16, they'll be able to buy a car, and they'll have enough money put away for that, plus to get them started on paying for insurance. I think that's so incredible, so they're going to be, when they're 16, they're going to be able to go to the car lot with mom and dad and pick out the car that they want to drive. We'll decide together, but it'll be paid for in full. They won't have any debt. They will feel really good because they've worked really hard for that, and they won't be borrowing my car. Because I told them, when I need my car, and you're not going to get it. And I'm in my car all the time because I work on the road. So that's something that we've done with our kids. And I think that's one thing that lacks in the school, is teaching them about financial and how to save and how to invest and all those things. So it's up to us as parents to really teach them how to do that. So that's stuff we do in our house every single day consistently, and it's working, it's paying off. They're really understanding the value of a dollar. If something gets wasted, I say to them, you just broke my lamp, for example. That lamp cost me $20. How hard did you have to work to earn $20 last week? You had to cut the grass, do the laundry, clean the bathroom, make your lunch every day. That's a lot of work. So just keep in mind that when you ruin something, it costs money to replace it. It costs money to buy it. So they're really starting to understand the concept of what a dollar is and how hard you have to work to earn that dollar. But more than anything, they're becoming more respectful of our house, which is sometimes challenging because they do break a lot of things. And, and I totally get now why my parents said, we never owned anything nice until you guys were out of the house, because, kids are kids and they do ruin things. So everything we own is pretty much used. Or has been given to us, or if it's new, it's it's cheap. It's from IKEA. I love IKEA, but let's be honest, a lot of their stuff is cheap, and it just, when you're a young parent, it gets you through, and it looks decent. And if it gets ruined, you're like, meh, it didn't really cost an arm and a leg. But we save, we pay for everything in cash. We don't put things on credit in our house. We work for what we want, and if we can't afford what we want, we don't buy it. We just save for it. So good lesson I've learned. If you guys follow the ULA guys, they are doing like I don't know how many part session, a 5 or a 7 part session about finances. And those are some of the speakers I listen to every single day. It's completely free. It's on their Facebook page. So they go live and then it's posted there. So they're starting to do that. And it's really good information, and it's free. So if anybody wants more info on how to save, how to pay off debt, how to just manage your money, they're doing that starting yesterday, I think. So I watched the first one yesterday, how he was explaining what they're doing, and I think it was Dr. Troy is the one that's doing it. And it's simple things, you think, people just think that you see your friends buying things and they own these really nice houses and these cars, and a lot of the times what's happening is people are buying things that are well out of their means. And if one of them loses their jobs, they potentially could lose their house or their car or anything like that. So it's just, it's not about keeping up with what your neighbor's doing or what your friends are doing. I live in a big old Century home, and we have a lower mortgage than anybody that I know, really, out of my friends, the ones that we share our information about, our finances like that. And my goal is to have my mortgage paid off in the next 5 to 7 years. So I'm working towards that. And, it's like all these little things, what you see is not always what's happening with people. You have to remember that. Just keep it in check, you want something, but how bad do you want it? Are you going to remember that you bought that shirt last week? Is it really that important? You want a coffee really bad. Isn't it easier just to make a coffee at home in a reusable mug and take that? If you do that every day, oh my gosh, the amount of money that you save, especially if you're going to places like Starbucks or Williams where they're charging $5 and $6 for a coffee, even Tim Hortons, $2-3 here and there every day, a couple times a day, it adds up. So, be conscious, and you can even make a financial journal and track what you're spending every day. That's a great way to figure out how you could save some more money. When you go out to dinner, as nice as that is, I know people go out to dinner every week. You're paying $500 or $600% more for a meal than if you were, making it yourself or having friends over doing a potluck thing, which is sometimes more fun. And I'm not saying going out for dinner and doing all those things, you shouldn't do those, because definitely, I do them. But again, everything in moderation. So just being conscious of what we spend. And, if there's something that I really, really want, then I think about it for a long time, and if it's meant to be, it'll happen, and if not, then it doesn't. But my blender, that's a great example. I had a NutriBullet. I've had that thing for I don't even know how many years, at least 5 years, if not more. We use it every day, a whole bunch of times through the day, and it just died yesterday. So I went to Costco and I bought a Ninja. And I'm really excited. I just used it for the first time. Oh my gosh, this thing's amazing. Now I could have bought a Vitamix, because that's really what I wanted. But at the end of the day, do I need to spend $500 on something I can get for $100? So there's my NutriBullet's dead. It's gone. And now I've got my Ninja. And it's amazing, and it's $99 at Costco right now. So if you are in need of a really good blender, I just used it for the first time this morning, and it's awesome. But you don't need to buy the biggest and the best and the fanciest thing. There's a lot of things that I want right now that are on my wish list, but I'm just trying to keep it in check, and you got to figure out what your priority is and make sure you pay your bills and you've got food on the table and everything. So anyways, that's enough about finances. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.